Hi, Professor Charlie Evans. Today I should be talking a little bit about Mesoamerican civilization. And the first thing I'd like to say is while I use Mesoamerican civilization, I'm not using it in the narrowly defined geographical extent of what is roughly a bit of Central America and Mexico. I'm using it in a larger sense of the word and defining it as all of Western Hemisphere civilization, North America, Central America, and South America, the civilizations that existed in this geographical area before the arrival of the Europeans, roughly before 1500, the start of the 16th century. And so you're looking at my notes that I've written up for the study of Mesoamerican civilization, and they're pretty good. But I want to turn to a map. And this is actually the best map that I could find online because it was the only map that showed the Western Hemisphere from north to south and gives us a clear idea of the location of the different civilizations as they arose in this area. And going from north to south, Mississippian, Olmec, Aztec, Maya, and Inca. Now, one of the most apparent things when we turn our attention to American civilization is the rather late date for its origin, for its expansion development, and its reaching a classical period. If we look at some of the different civilizations we're talking about here, the Aztec, we're looking really in the 14th and 16th century. The Inca, maybe the same period of time, roughly 14th to 16th century. Mississippian, American Indian civilization, the mound cultures of the Mississippian basin are a little earlier, maybe to the 800s, the 9th century, also to the 16th century. And the oldest of these would be the Maya. They predate these other civilizations by quite a bit of time. The classical period of Mayan civilization, roughly from 250 to 900 of the Common Era. The fact that these civilizations are arrayed from north to south is one of the factors that Jared Diamond elaborated upon in his rather controversial book on guns, germs, and steel, in explaining the rather late development of civilizations in the Western Hemisphere. The fact that developments really were very difficult to pass from one civilization to the other because of this going from north to south or from south to where the geography, the different weather, and everything made it very difficult to pass cultural or technical developments from one society to another. And then also the fact that their isthmus is very narrow and it may just travel back and forth really complicated. Um, the other thing that Jared Diamond points out in his book is that the Western Hemisphere lacked some of the native grains that were prevalent in the Near East, grains that would fuel population expansion, rapid population expansion, and development of societies, and also that Western Hemisphere lacked the animals that could be used for farming, that the animals as compared to the animals that existed in the Near East, and that there was no real shall we say, beasts of burden available to societies in the Western Hemisphere. And so I'm just going to sum it really quickly. One of the things that I find really striking, and that you will find really striking, is the rather late development of societies in the Western Hemisphere. Although those societies did, some of them, achieve unbelievable technological, architectural, and other developments, they're still relatively late in comparison to the developments of comparable societies in the Near East and North Africa, South Asia, East Asia, and also the Mediterranean basin. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks.